Hey, how's it going? I'm sure you know why we're all here. I would fucking hope you do, because there's literally a title. Women's soccer, the only sports that I give a shit about. Is it because it's full of lesbians? Hey, who's to say? If you are not a women's soccer girly, and yes, I'm from Australia, I say soccer. If you say football, let's all just be quiet about it, okay? If you enjoy my lesbian thirst traps videos and you're not currently acquainted with women's soccer, take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome back everyone to a very kind of gay episode of the low budget shit show. So last year the Women's World Cup was hosted in Australia, and am I someone who only really found out about women's soccer because of the World Cup being in Australia? Yes. I've never been a sports girly, I've never been interested. I have 2 lesbian dads in our friendship group that are really big on sports. I'll watch it with them because it makes them happy, but I have no idea what's going on. Because after that World Cup, I don't know if it's because it's how gay it is or because it's an Australian team in Australia, and above all, I don't really care what it is, I will always back Australia. But all of a sudden I got very interested in women's soccer. Since then I've watched every single Matildas game. I've been on a holiday in Indonesia. We were on some like beautiful tropical island by the pool, and I was on my phone watching the Matildas game back home. Like really so invested in soccer now, like the 180 of the century. I even know what offside means now. Did it start because most of the team is queer and they're really hot and they're really good at what they do? Yes. Has it morphed into just a love for soccer now? Shockingly, yes. With that being said, the people on my Patreon have spoken. They voted between a lesbian thirst traps reaction video and this video, and this one won by a bit of a landslide. By the way, if you are a Patreon member, there will be an extended version of this video over on Patreon. Not just a short little extras, basically like a whole nother video of this on Patreon. And while we're here, a huge thank you to all of my most worthy patrons. These are my upper tier patrons who really keep the channel going. I froth all of my patrons, honestly, love you to bits. But if you do join the upper tiers, like the inner circle tier, you will get the low budget shit show carabiner. Well, that's not what I wanted. Low budget shit show carabiner. You can also choose from one of these 3 shirts, which I will send out to you with a handwritten note from me. You also get access to bonus content, for example, another one of these videos over on Patreon. I just uploaded an Am I the Arsehole video, I think, a few weeks ago. A lesbian thirst traps reaction video went live. Wanting to get more and more bonus content over on Patreon, so if you've got any ideas and you're a patron, you can either message me directly or leave a comment on one of the posts with anything that you're wanting to see or any ideas that you've got. You also get a discount to my clothing brand Rift Supply Co. Hi. What are you doing? Jumping in really quick to tell you we've got new teas up on Rift. We've got 4 flavors of gay. We have hyper specific gay awakening t-shirts available on riftsupplyco.com. For example, that scene in Stick It where Hayley Graham gets in an ice bath was my gay awakening. The amount of times I've replayed that scene was quite frankly alarming. This is the closest I will get to a religious experience. We've also got one for Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean, because obviously that was everyone's gay awakening. Megan Fox in Transformers, and Drew Barrymore in Charlie's Angels. I've just put up an all Panic No Disco t-shirt, and I eat microplastics. I'm gonna be honest, I only put this one up because I want it. If you're a patron, you can get up to 20% off all of these, so make sure if you are a patron and you want a t-shirt, use your discount. And there's free shipping in Australia if you spend over $200, so if you want to order some stuff with a friend, get free shipping. Jump in there, get amongst it, riftsupplyco.com. But Rift and Patreon are the 2 absolute best ways to support the channel. This video won't get monetized. My last 5 videos probably aren't monetized. Patreon and my clothing brand are the reason that I can keep doing these, and the reason that we can just sit down, hang out and watch women's soccer together, and I love it. Also, the whole end of this video will be dedicated to Andy, aka the actual love of my life. That's literally what the tier is called. It's the highest tier you can get on Patreon. It's just a really big way to support the channel. So to Andy, I can't thank you enough. Your support means the world. So stick around, I will be fangirling over Andy for the whole end of the video. Okay, oh my god, let's jump into it. Let's see if I can remember to screen record this. A lot of you ask, why are all the videos favorited? They have to be, because I will lose them otherwise. I often forget to screen record. I'm not good at my job. It's the low budget shit show. For those who are just starting their women's soccer journey, Australia's team is called the Matildas. It's basically the only team you need to worry about. The World Cup was hosted in Australia recently. The Matildas broke attendance records. They were filling up stadiums, which for women's soccer / football in Australia was completely unheard of. Don't quote me directly on this, but they were going from like say 20,000 people crowds to 70, 80,000. They've consistently sold out stadiums since. I think they're on a 12 stadium sellout record at the moment. The crowds broke decibel levels for the stadiums that they were playing in. That's for like all sporting events. They broke TV records across everything. Highest TV viewership in Australia since Kathy Freeman's Gold in 2000. They've just absolutely insanely changed the game, changed the entire landscape in Australia. All of their individual stories are just they're just the fucking best. They're so likable. They're such hard workers. They seem like such good people. Australia isn't really / wasn't a soccer nation at all. And they've pretty much like single-handedly as a team squashed that idea and turned everyone into soccer fans, myself included. And I have never liked sports. I can't emphasize that enough. The fact that they've gotten me so on board is testament to the power of the Matildas, honestly. Even the local games are seeing higher attendance. The Australian teams are like kids soccer sign-ups, especially little girls as well. It's been really amazing to see, and I'm not sure how to convey how important this has been for women's sports and soccer as a whole. So that's the context you may need. And now let me take you on this journey.
I would never line up for a Broadway show. I would never line up to see the King. I would never line up to see the Prime Minister. But I am lining up for the Matildas. I would never line.
Honestly, the fact that that was the first one after that big spiel I just did, that pretty much sums up everything. You can see we still have a long way to go because most of the comments on some of these videos are just men being salty, saying they're not as good as the men's team, saying they don't deserve the crowds, blah, 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 all that shit. If that's you in this comment section, babe, darling, princess, sweetie pie, girly pop, handle your emotions privately. Deal with your feelings of inadequacy on your own time. This is Chelsea versus Arsenal. Okay, paused at the wrong time. A lot of the Matildas players play in the UK, specifically in Arsenal. This is Caitlin Ford in the red, who's one of ours, who's not happy, who has been taking notes from Katie McCabe, I think. Oh no, Rasso. This isn't the point of the games, but it does make it funnier. Rasso, who is one of our own, is a little instigator. If someone's having a punch on, she's often in the middle of it. As I was saying, this is Rasso always, always in the thick of it. But was defending Gorry in this case because Katie McCabe was stirring the pot. Great game, Ireland versus Australia. Very physical.
I live for the drama. We're like 2 days into a World Cup. This is phenomenal.
Oh my God,
Whether you give
okay.
a shit about women's football or not, I don't care. This is amazing. So those two, Katie McCabe and Risha Littlejohn, they used to date Insta official.
Okay, another part of the World Cup was the lesbian drama involved. Holy shit. Again, I don't want to make the point of this video like drooling over them, thirst trappy, whatever, and I don't want to make the point of it, the lesbian drama, but it is worth mentioning because it was wild.
So those two, Katie McCabe and Risha Littlejohn, they used to date Insta official cute girlfriends.
For ages.
They broke up. Ouch, imagine breaking up
For
and
like
it's like
years,
your international
I think.
teammate. Breaking up and it's like your international teammate. Bit orcs. It was heavily rumoured that Katie McCabe moved on with Caitlin Ford, this Australian footballer who plays for Arsenal. Risha Littlejohn, the lady, the one at the start of the video, if you can cast your mind back 20 seconds ago, didn't shake Caitlin Ford's hand when Ireland played Australia.
And this is like that's like a big deal, which I didn't know at the time. All the players shake each other's hands before the game starts, and Littlejohn did not shake Caitlin Ford's hand, like fully skipped her, and then everyone was like, what the fuck is that all about? And it's because, yeah, Caitlin started dating Katie McCabe, who is Littlejohn's ex, and they all had to play each other at the fucking World Cup, and the two exes had to play on the same team. Like, the way I would murder someone if I had, oh my God, I would not have had that kind of grace. Oh no. Okay. During the World Cup, I made a TikTok basically just saying I had a big crush on Mary Fowler, who this is. She grew up in the same place that I did, which is Far North Queensland. No one is from there. No one notable really comes out of Far North Queensland. It's a very small population. So for that reason alone, she's my favorite player, but also just since watching, it's like watching a fucking ballerina but with a soccer ball. Like, it's so graceful and she just handles it every fucking time. But this is Mary Fowler. If you've never heard of her, you're welcome. She's just so good. Also, this is a great edit made by the Matildas TikTok. And she's very pretty, okay? Let's address the elephant in the room. She is gorgeous. Let me show you something. Okay, this was a great goal by Mary.
Here come the Matildas. It's been a little while since we've been up this end with real intent. Rasso, the cut back for Fowler, beautifully done.
Just
and Mary Fowler
And the power behind it as well.
In the second half, and onto the score sheet. Coolly taken.
Just fucking...
Run down the right from Rasa.
Like, I love all the girls on the Matildas. They're all such great players, obviously. But Mary really is just a joy to watch. Some of the goals that she's been able to score, it's just insane.
Oh, you've got to put some swaz on it, Gromit.
Like this.
Bing!
But that's what I mean, like the power. I love whoever is the marketing manager or whatever for the Matildas social media needs a fucking raise immediately. Oh, this video I've watched this video a few times for research purposes, and we'll watch it again. Dude, I would have passed out personally when she stands up fully and you can just see like the noticeable height difference. I personally would have just died. I don't know what it is, but I love when people get angry playing sports. I don't care if it's soccer, I don't care if it's rugby, I don't care if it's AFL, I don't care. When people get angry on the field, I love it. For some reason, violence is not good, but when the biff was allowed, I think we were better as a country. The only sport where when someone gets angry, I'm like, oh, come on, is tennis for some reason. It seems like a kid's tantrum on a tennis court for no reason at all. Who's that? Wait, who's that? Oh. Oh. I remember that. Was that? This is not why we love soccer, but it's not a reason that we love soccer. I can't figure out what this video is. It just says best football moments. What is... Okay, we can't... This is not why we're doing this. Oh my god, but this is Caitlin Ford and whoever the fuck the other chick was absolutely smashing into each other. Full on like head-to-head collision. This is what Caitlin Ford looked like afterwards, and they just bandaged that up and kept going like this. And another chick put like a swimming cap on. Yeah, they just chuck a swimming cap on and just back on the field. Poor girl. Good on her though, honestly. She's saying that she couldn't take it off because she's still bleeding. Like, that's insane. Okay, this was on the plane. The game against France at the World Cup was playing on the plane. I'm torn between like not explaining everything because a lot of people will know, but also wanting to explain it to people that don't know. This was the game against France, which would decide whether or not the Matildas would go into the quarterfinals. The whole game, no one scored. On overtime, no one scored. It went to a penalty shootout. The penalty shootout went for like 20 minutes and everyone in Australia was like crying, screaming, shitting themselves, throwing up. And this was Courtney Vine scoring the winning goal. And one dude just watching The Lord of the Rings randomly. It still makes me nervous. Imagine being the one dude watching The Lord of the Rings being like, what the fuck is going on? The poor flight attendant seemed to shit herself as well. This is Sam Kerr being iconic and shoulder barging a pitch invader. And just collecting him, honestly. He was just being a nuisance, and honestly the fact that security hadn't dealt with him and it came to Sam Kerr having to do that is its own issue to discuss.
What happens when a pitch invader annoys Sam Kerr?
Run.
Honestly, wouldn't be mad at getting that yellow card. That was fucking funny. Okay, this is like an example of the kind of queer shenanigans that were happening. This player couldn't get to her girlfriend who was in the stands. So another player comes and picks her up so she can kiss her girlfriend. Okay, we didn't really need the extra slow-mo, but it's so cute. It's so cute. Why are all female football players gay? They're not. They kinda are.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru,
Yep.
Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and Silva.
And it just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going, and half of them are from Australia. And we're still going.
Norway and Sweden and Iceland.
And there's more.
Germany now one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy.
And I don't even think that's all of them.
Turkey, Scotland.
I'm pretty sure they've missed like a lot of Aussie players that are also queer. Soccer is a very, very, very queer coded game and we love it. Okay, we've got the Matildas edits. This is Ali Carpenter. I love whatever the fuck this effect is on sports videos, on soccer videos specifically. Ali is just a weapon. Oh, and how could I have not mentioned yet? Macca. Love that bitch. The Minister of Defence, the brick wall, the Great Wall of Australia. The actual Minister for Defence, like in our government, offered to give his title to her.
So this afternoon it is my solemn duty to resign as Australia's Minister for Defence. And I've handed my commission to Mackenzie Arnold. As Australia expects, I know that in this hour she will do us proud.
Absolute powerhouse. Mackenzie Arnold's another one that like when she's got the ball, or when the ball's coming towards her rather, you just know she's going to be able to handle it. Every time I see this, it gives me feelings. And seeing how Tony Gustafsson, like how emotional he gets, he's the coach. It's just insane. Honestly, when I want to feel something, I watch the France shootout. If I watch it too close to bedtime, I can't sleep still. I don't want to hear it. Again, the France penalty shootout, they were pausing other games, like other sporting games, to play the Matildas game on the big screens. Looks like they were playing AFL here, so they've paused AFL, an actual live game, to watch the Matildas, which is just the power of these women. Oh, why am I getting sad? Why am I getting sad? Oh, why does this team make me so emotional? Crazy, 75,000. Insane. And immediately you open the comments and it's fucking men. Not all men, but always a man in the comment section, which this is fucking hilarious. This is from when the World Cup was on last year and it's some dude saying, don't want to burst your bubble, but this is the World Cup. The attendance will go back down to 20k for qualifier games. Wrong. As of the other day, the Matildas have sold out their 13th straight home game. The video is beautiful. It's awesome to see people succeed. But for some fucking reason, seeing women succeed, especially at sport, but really at anything, makes guys like this so insecure for no reason that he's compelled, can't help himself, has to leave a negative comment saying attendance is going to drop again after the World Cup, which it didn't. And that's the funniest part, it didn't, it increased. They've just sold out the Sydney Accor Stadium, I know, because I tried to get tickets and I couldn't. And the capacity for that stadium is 83,000. And then next comment straight underneath that, let's see what this crowd is like for non-World Cup games in a few months. Bigger. At no point have I ever seen men in sports and thought, how can I diminish their success here? In fact, I haven't seen any woman doing that. I haven't seen any man doing that. Like what is the disease that causes this? It really doesn't need to be made into like this men versus women thing, and I don't know why guys like this specifically always want to make it a men versus women thing. It's women's soccer. It's got nothing to do with men's soccer. That's the point.
Is it a break?
This is Alana when she broke her nose.
She's seen herself up on the scoreboard here.
You've just seen herself on like the big screen.
Oh my God, was the reaction.
Oh, she's a darling. POV, you're at the most beautiful wedding and the Matildas are through to the World Cup semi-final. This is what I mean. This was like a monumental turning point for Australia. I don't know if anyone outside of Australia knows the impact the Matildas have had. It's insane. Again, the France versus Australia, like this isn't even at the game. This is just in the streets, in the city. Like this one was in Sydney, but there's the exact same thing at Fed Square in Melbourne. Same thing in Brisbane, same thing in every major city. They were just watching a TV screen. They've all come out to just watch a TV screen outside. This is Sam and McCabe, and that's a good tackle, but I can't support it because it's against Sam Kerr. I just always have to back the Aussies, I'm sorry.
No yellow cards. No red cards, sir.
I feel like this whole video is just Katie McCabe at this point. Look at her telling the other chick to calm down. She is so cheeky, honestly. I can't with Katie. Another yellow card. Oof. Another yellow card. I would love to see a game where she actually is allowed to play as rough as she clearly fucking wants to. I know she's Irish, but she does feel Australian to me. Okay, has edit vibes, which makes me sus. But I love... We're just appreciating the technical. Sweden, your goalie is a beautiful woman, a very talented woman, and oh yeah, I remember this. This was against us in the World Cup and they did win, but this was very cute. This is so cute. Sweden, your goalkeeper. You got me there.
That's a nice award to win.
I know, yeah.
And sure. Alessia in a suit. And I think that's where we can end the
There's
video.
lots of awards being given out tonight, but if you could give any special award to any one of your teammates, what would it be?
Oh, good question.
We're watching the rest of this in the Patreon extras. I'm sorry. I can't. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you were new to soccer, I hope you have any idea what's going on. If you're familiar, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Big thank you once again to all of my patrons and especially to Andy. Andy, as I said, is the love of my life, along with most of these female soccer players. Andy says she has a bit of an odd request. Could you just put me out there as single for 2 years and looking for friends or something? I'm a cook and I'm over a year sober. Good on you, Andy. She said I don't have to pimp her out, but I will. Andy.Ren on Insta, that'll be somewhere here. And this is her TikTok username. The Instagram says queer and Canadian, so I'm assuming I'm allowed to pass that information on. And what a queer audience we might have with this video today. If you're looking for a mate who can cook, Jesus, go introduce yourself to Andy. I, for one, can attest to the fact that Andy is patient because there were some delays and I have also just been sick and all over the place the past month. So if you want a friend who can cook, who's patient, who's queer, who's really cool, and who is the love of my life, let's not forget, go hit up Andy. If you also want to use that Patreon tier as like a matchmaking service, feel free. I would absolutely lose my shit if people were making friends via the ends of my videos. Like that would really just make my whole year. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. There's been this fucking bug just flying around the room this whole video. I've tried to ignore you, but you're very annoying. Hope you guys have been well. Hope you enjoyed that and I will see you in the next one.